Last night we have talked about the key points of cultivation and the foundation. That is primarily for individuals' practice. Tonight we're going to talk about 6 types of harmonies, which is also fundamental requirement for group practice. The 3 virtues, as we mentioned last night, is the foundation for self-cultivation. Now we discuss tonight the foundation for group practice. First of all, the Sangha organization, the term Sangha, is defined as 4 people, mostly monks, stay together, live together, practice together, and follow the 6 harmonies. Then it's considered as a Sangha group, which is defined or set up by Buddha Sakyamuni in the ancient time. Actually, for layperson or home-living monks and nuns, in either case, if Dharma practitioners live together and practice together, they need to follow the 6 harmonies so that group practice will be harmonious and beneficial to each one of them. The first harmony is common viewpoint, which means they have a common understanding about Buddha Dharma and common understanding or agreement about the whole group. This is the first harmony for group practice. Buddha Sakyamuni has actually personally achieved these 2 great merits. Number 1 is always make all beings happy. And the second one was always join the merits and happiness of other people's virtues. And therefore, due to different types of beings and the capacity and their natures, so there are tremendous methods and even schools were established for the Buddhist practitioners. And that's why there are many methods and schools for Dharma practitioners. When a group of people stay together, it forms or establishes the so-called society. And for a peaceful, harmonious society, the important thing is harmony. They need to be synchronized in their viewpoint and value systems. If they do not share the same viewpoint or share the same concepts, then harmony becomes impossible. And that's why the first has to be harmony, the next comes calm, and then comes peace of the mind, then comes tranquility or samadhi, and finally joy and happiness. Even in Confucianism, Confucius said that manners in behavior, its function, the important function of that is harmony. I remember a few years ago when I visited Peking to see Qing dynasty's palaces. The 3 major palaces are 3 ancient structures. The first one, the title of that palace or the name is called the Great Harmony Palace. The second one, smaller in size, and is located behind this first palace, is called the Middle Harmony Palace. And the last one is called the Complete Harmony Palace. So by the name, you can see that harmony is the key, is the spirit of the Qing dynasty. Unfortunately, at the end of Qing dynasty, when they lose harmony, they lose their dynasty. If they continue the original harmony, even today, we may still be the citizen of the Qing dynasty and not a citizen of Republic China. Buddha Sakyamuni has given numerous teachings in numerous sutras and covers numerous methods. That is to fit into different types of human beings for their capacity, for their nature, and for their viewpoints. That's why there are so many different schools, and not to say branches from the schools. They're tremendous. Buddhism in mainland China has 10 major schools, and that is because the ancient Chinese people have different likes or preferences, and therefore automatically forms 10 major schools. For example, the flower adorned school were formed by people who enjoy flower adorned sutra and want to practice based on this one. And likewise, the wonderful Flower Sutra has formed their own school, specializing in the wonderful Flower Sutra. So it is like an institute with a specialty, and it's not like a university with many different departments. Because if one do not concentrate in one particular method or teaching, but to cover, like most temples today, all kinds of teachings and all kinds of methods in one place, the possibility to become successful in spiritual area is almost none. In the ancient Chinese traditional teaching called the Three Characters Book, there's one statement said, the key of teaching, the importance of that is concentration. Therefore, for even average teaching, the concentration is highly important to learn the profound, subtle, and deep Dharma. How can we not use concentration? Among all the schools in Chinese Mahayana Buddhism, or Chinese Buddhism, the Pure Land School has less sutras compared with other schools. In ancient time, they only have 3 major sutras as their highest guideline. And then in modern time, 2 more sutras were added and make a total of 5 as a major sutra for the Pure Land School. In the Qing Dynasty, layperson Wei Yuan, he added another one, the Universal Goodness, Activity, and Vow and Great Vow Sutra chapter out of the Flower Dawn Sutra. Just add 1 chapter to make the 4th sutra in the Pure Land School. And then, in the early 1900s, the Great Spiritual Power Bodhisattva Sutra, which called the Complete Enlightenment chapter of Great Spiritual Bodhisattva Sutra, actually is a chapter out of a Surangama Sutra, and pick this one out and make it a 5th sutra for the Pure Land School, and it's given or provided by Most Venerable Yin Guang. If we have 2 persons both enjoy Pure Land School, one likes to chant the Infinite Life Sutra. The other likes to chant Amitabha Sutra. When these two get together, there will be conflict. They cannot practice together. If two persons both enjoy Amitabha Sutra, but their understanding of the meaning of the Amitabha Sutra are different. One is based on OE, master. The other one, his understanding or her understanding is based on the interpretation from most venerable Lian Ci. Then even doing the same sutra, due to different idea and understanding of the same sutra, they are going to have conflicts. And even for chanting Amitabha, the people already agreed. If one like to chant fast and the one like to chant real slow, when these two people get together, they cannot practice together. That's why in the ancient China, in the Pure Land school and temple, the harmony of chanting the Buddha, or whatever method they all agreed, is in perfect harmonious condition. The moment you walk in that place, you can feel the tremendous harmonious are in a group practice. It is inconceivable. Unfortunately today, in one temple, one place, there are numerous teachings provided by different teachers and numerous sutras involved as well. That makes even Buddha feel difficult. And how can we practice all methods, all teachings, and still have harmony? Therefore, the first harmony is to have complete agreement or in understanding, to have complete viewpoint about the practice, about the understanding toward Buddha Dharma. The first harmony is complete agreement in viewpoint and goal. If the viewpoint and goals are different, it would be better to separate them rather than force them to be together, because otherwise there will be conflicts. It is not how many people we can have, it is how harmonious the members of the groups are. That's why the system established by Buddha is so great and so flexible that individuals do not lose their individuals' preferences. In the sutra, the story talk about Madam Waitishi. She was a queen. Due to personal and family trouble, she wanted to leave this world. For that reason, Buddha Sakyamuni showed her numerous pure lands of different Buddhas worlds. Buddha Sakyamuni did not show one pure land and said, that's the place you should go. Rather, Buddha has showed her all pure lands of different Buddhas and let her decide which one is the best one to herself. On the contrary, every human being has a tendency to grab people to do things that we think is the best. If we can make it, grab people to our group, but due to differences in the viewpoint and opinions, there are going to be conflicts, and the group will not be harmonious. Therefore, those who like to recite chanting Amitabha need to get together for chanting Amitabha. Those who like to do Zen Buddhism's approach and practices need to stay together. And those who enjoy Vajrayana Buddhism need to stay together. We should not have this intention, try to grab others and join our group, make our organization bigger and larger. This is very incorrect. Therefore, the importance is if we have people have complete agreement in viewpoint and goals, then this group, no matter how small, it is very strong and very harmonious. The second harmony is harmony in precepts and jointly observed by all members. And that is basically the common rules to be shared by all members of that organization. For a Buddhist group, of course, the fundamental precepts has to be in this common precept to be shared. Therefore, for the lay person group, the 5 precepts must be in that common precepts. And for the monk or nun or monastery group, then the bhikkhu and bhikkhuni, their precepts need to be in that common precepts of that organization. In addition to that, there are other common rules and regulations needed for this particular group should also be added. And that is so-called the daily agreement, which is only applicable to that group. And after all these rules and the regulation plus fundamental precepts discussed among members, agreed among members, they need to be observed by all members without exceptions. And of course, this Buddhist group and their rules and precepts must also in agreement with the law of the country. With this understanding and this agreement, then nobody in the group has different position than others. It is truly democratic society. Nobody has special privilege over others. The third harmony is physical harmony such that they can live together. This is in order to have people practice together day and night, and not just to offer a place so people can escape those responsibilities from the society. Today, due to improvement in material world and facilities, there are some places each member has their own suite. I'm afraid with this kind of approach, we do not obtain the physical harmony. We are deviating from the spirit of physical harmony. Because human beings, since time without beginning, their minds are so confused. At the daytime, when people are together, we'll try to behave ourselves. At the nighttime, if we have individual suite with door closed, we may forget what we're supposed to do, become either lazy or do something not supposed to. And therefore, the merit accumulated at the daytime may be lost at nighttime. That's because individuals do have this kind of comical obstacles deep inside everyone's heart. And that's why in the Krishtagarbha Sutra, one statement said, all sentient beings, in every single movement, in every single thought, is basically creating bad karma or creating sin. Very seldom to have pure mind. Therefore, this physical harmony talk about to live together. So at the daytime, one monk watch the other. At nighttime, they still, in a way, watch each other. So nobody become sloppy or anything. And their rules and regulations actually tougher and more strict than military soldiers. Only through this kind of serious practice and close living environment in harmony that a man's bad habits can be transformed. However, Buddhism are always flexible. There are a few exceptions. The abbot, due to his high position and responsibility to the temple, has his own suite, so to speak, but it's not the suite of today's suite, very small. That's why the abbot has a term in Chinese called fang zhang, which means a small place. That's all he can have. And also, person who in charge of all kinds of miscellaneous jobs for the temple, due to their schedule is busy, such as go to bed late and causing problem to other people. Therefore, he will have his own place. And of course, those old age or very ill, they need to separate themselves from the group. They have their individual places to sleep. The rest people, without exception, practice together, sleep together on a big flat floor. The fourth one is harmony in speech without argument or debate. Human beings can make easily a speech calm us through the speech. That's why ancient time people said illness oftentimes appear from things going into the mouth. Trouble oftentimes occurs when things coming out of the mouth. And there's another statement by the ancient people. They said, more speech, more trouble. In the Pure Land school, there's also a famous statement saying, cut down or cut short one statement, chant more Buddha name. Therefore, the less speech one makes, the better. And preferably no speech at all. I'd like to give you an example. When I was in Los Angeles, my disciple or friend's a child in the seniors in the high school, he attended 3-day Japanese Zen practice in the Zen center. Actually, the Zen master already passed away. It's the disciple continue the Zen practitioner with a lot of American followers. That was the summertime, and the kid felt excellent. He'd like to go back again in the winter because they have achieved this harmony in speech. Actually, there was no talk at all. Their rules are like the following. After breakfast, you can take a walk, and then 8 o'clock sitting in the Zen hall until 11:30. After lunch, go back to the Zen hall, sit at 1:30 until 5:30. And then, after some break, start sitting again at evening time, 7:30 till 9:30. From day till night, not even one speech, one talk, and continue such practice for 3 days. And this young kid feel tremendous joy from within without any speech. And he like to go back again. This is a good example of harmony in speech without argument. In this example, there was not even a speech. How could there be argument? There should be no scattered mind and idle talks. So for traditional Buddha name chanting place, ideally it should be only one sound of Amitabha chanting, with or without sound, but no other talks. In the Vajrayana practitioner of Vajrayana place or temple, the whole day should be the sound of mantra chanting and nothing else. In all my lifetime, I only see one great master who is my original teacher, one of the original teachers. The Vajrayana great master, Zhang Jia Da Si. I had noticed from day till night. His mouth always doing chanting without sound. You can see the lips moving, but nothing coming out. He's doing the Vajra chanting on mantra and non-stop from day till night. Only when the time comes you need to talk to people, he will stop chanting the mantra. As soon as the speech is finished, he soon returned to his Vajra chanting of mantra. When we came to visit him, he will keep doing this. The lips moving, the sound doesn't come out, mantra continues. But there's no talk or speech. He is looking at us eye to eye and no speech. He wants us to settle down our wandering mind. Then he will open his mouth and give us some short talk. And open time, he only talked about 3-4 statements, 3-4 words in 2 hours. Not much. However, every single word came out of his mouth seems to have over 1,000 pounds of weight. They're so heavy that you cannot forget for the rest of your life. For the Buddha name chanting place, ideally, it should be no talk at all. Even not in the Buddhist temple, in individual's house, one should try to remain total silence. Then we can marching chanting practice. If one wants to obtain Buddha name chanting samadhi sooner, then one need to cut off the speech as much as one can. The fifth harmony is harmony of harmony of the heart. When one practices properly, the joy will come automatically, which is the beginning result of proper practice. If we practice Buddha Dhamma and still not happy or joyful, then it's either we have incorrect philosophy or theory, or we have incorrect methodologies. Otherwise, the happiness and joy were bound to occur. As a matter of fact, if you practice properly, the joy and peace will come on a daily basis, and you feel more happy and much freer every day. But if you do not have such experience of daily happiness and freedom, that means your practice has some trouble or problem, and therefore you need to examine yourself and your method and your mentality carefully to find out what's wrong in your practice. And find that out and make corrections. The happiness and joy and peace will automatically occur. Buddha Dhamma, its practice is in daily life. In interfacing with different people and in different situations of daily life, we are practicing our pure mind. We are practicing the establishment of proper views and understanding. We're practicing realization and not confusion. Therefore, in daily life, no matter good person you meet, or the bad person you meet, no matter very convenient in favorable conditions, or very unpleasant conditions you are in, these are the cases that we can remove or eradicate bad karma and increase our wisdom. Therefore, we're supposed to be very happy in daily life, in any situation we're meeting anybody. And therefore, we will increase our happiness from Dhamma. If everybody feel the same, then the fifth harmony of happiness of the heart will be shared by this whole group. The sixth harmony is harmony in equally sharing the profit. This is deal with the material life for the members of the Sangha. In ancient time, the income for a temple usually come from two sources, or both. First one is donation from the country or emperor. Second one is donation from knowledgeable and rich Buddhists. Today, a lot of places established by collecting little donation from a lot of people. This is not traditional, and this is really not proper. And particularly, a monk going out and knocking door from door to collect for donation in order to build the temple or maintain the temple's economical life, it is not proper. What is proper for a monk is to take a bowl and, in ancient time, knock the door to beg for food. Or, at the night time, he need to sleep, simply sit down and meditate under a tree, but never seek for money. Not to say knock from door to door for money, and to build a temple and make it a home. This is improper. In the ancient time, the temple established is due to the understanding of the knowledgeable and rich Buddhists. They know the benefit of the temple can do to the local society and people. Therefore, they establish the center and take care of the financial and materialistic responsibilities. Then invite knowledgeable, excellent moral conduct monk to be the abbot. This is like inviting a person to be the principal of the school, to teach young monks to benefit the local society. Therefore, from the materialistic life point of view, all members of the temple sharing the same profit equally. The above 6 harmonies should all be satisfied in order to be considered as a true Sangha group. If short one harmony out of 6 cannot be considered as a true Sangha group. The Chinese people oftentimes said, if the family is in harmony, then everything will be prosperous. And this is also true for all the citizens of a country. If everybody are in harmony with each other, and then the whole nation will be strong and stable. As a matter of fact, for society, for a country, for even a company, just possess 3 out of 6 harmonies, then that society, company, or country will be in great stability. This 3, for example, is same viewpoint, sharing the same viewpoint without disagreement, observing the same precept without differences, sharing the same profit without occupying something for yourself. The first one, sharing the same viewpoint, meaning thinking, ideas are pretty much in the same level. The second one, sharing the same and observing the same precept, means everybody follow the law, the rules and regulation. The third one, sharing the profit for a nation or society or even a company, means the rich and the poor must not have too much a gap between them. And I can point out an example. Japanese business is doing excellent. And after World War II, they created something called the Business Association or Society. And they are so powerful. They outnumber other society, organization, or company in the world. That's because they truly have obtained or reached the 3 harmonies out of the Buddhist 6 harmonies. For example, when a company is not doing well financially, then the top management will stop increasing salary for themselves and still give salary to employees. Under this condition, employees are touched to their hearts. How can they not work harder for the company? Whenever there's differences or in opinions, the employee will not go strike. They still go to work, still produce productivity, and just wear a white scarf or white cloth, like a strip on head. That indicates I have things to say. Then he or she will get an opportunity to be interviewed by the top management directly. Only 3 harmonies has been observed by the Japanese Society of Business. We have all seen the success of Japanese business just because the harmony in only 3 aspects of the Buddhist 6 harmonies. And yet, today's Chinese people pretty much discard those traditions. We are truly shameful to our ancestors. Chinese people need to be alert and examine themselves carefully. Before I came here to Miami, I was visiting and teaching Buddha Dharma in Huntsville, Alabama. A Chinese student or friend asked me what kind of girlfriend he should look for a companion to be married. I said, the viewpoint has to be the same. If you have the same viewpoint and thinking, meaning the same goals to life and same interests, then the harmonious situation after marriage will be there. Must not talk about love. If you talk about love, you like each other, then get married. After marriage, individuals' thinking viewpoints come out and contradicted to each other, eventually result in divorce. So for a peaceful family, harmonious family, the family need also to consider the 6 harmonies in spirit, and then individual happiness and harmony of the family life will be bound to occur. We must first understand that Buddhism is not religion. It is an education. And its content is very broad and vast. It's so broad and vast that average college and university cannot cover. Now we're going to talk about the Buddhism educational system. What kind of textbook do we use? The Buddhism translated into Chinese sutras were originally those selected from the important sutras from India, and then still a lot of those selected and transmitted, carried over to China. Due to the difficulty in translation, then another selection or screening was performed to select those important ones among those important ones. And because of time, the translation is done in a systematic manner and is sponsored by the emperor or country. For example, 玄奘法师400人，净罗摩是600人。对。The great master Xuanzang, at his time, the translation was supported by the country, and there were 400 people doing group translation. So when we see the sutra, the name says Xuanzang as translator. He was the main translator. There are 400 people behind him. And also another famous master, Zhou Mo Si, when he translated the Sanskrit sutra into Chinese sutra, there were 600 people supporting him and doing a good translation behind him. For the sutra, you only see one name, Zhulo Mosi. There were actually a lot of people behind him, and it was organized and supported by the nation, and namely the emperor. And nowadays, the Sanskrit sutra in Sanskrit pretty much has lost and become incomplete. So the major teachings of Buddha Shakyamuni are contained in Tibetan Buddhism and also Chinese sutras. The Tibetan Buddhism, their translation were from two sources, some directly from Sanskrit translation from India. The second source was translated from Chinese sutra and was brought into Tibet by Princess Wenten. That was 600 years after the Chinese sutra was already translated. So 600 years later, it's the beginning of Tibetan sutra. When we talk about Buddhism sutras, which is our textbooks, there are three categories. Jing, Lü, Lun. Jing, in general, you can say it's sutra, but Jing is the direct teaching from the Lord Buddha Shakyamuni. Lü is talk about precepts and conducts. Lun talk about the aspect of wisdom. And Buddha's teaching to human world on earth. The scope is to cover the whole earth. The time, according to sutra records, is to provide teachings for 12,000 years, actually forever. But the life expectancy of sutra, according to Buddha's prediction in the sutra, 12,000 years. And the sutra and all the teachings, as we consider as textbook, is to deal with our problems and provide prescription or medicine. What is the problem of human beings on earth? There are three types. Number one, the body constantly creates bad karma or evil things. The mind constantly scattered around and not settled down. And the thought, or actually the mind, also constantly in ignorance or stupidity and not knowing what is right, what is wrong. Therefore, the precept is to deal with our conduct and behavior, to avoid creating evils or wrongdoings. And samadhi or meditation is to help the mind to be stabilized and not scattering around. And prajna or wisdom is to liberate us from ignorance and stupidities. If sentient beings, particularly human beings in this world, do not have any illnesses, so to speak, then there will be no Buddha Dhamma. So, because of the illnesses, there will be medicine, which is the textbook of Buddha Dhamma. When the illnesses of the human beings completely removed, then the medicine no longer needed. That's why in the Diamond Sutra it said, wrongdoings need to go away. Even the right thought and teachings need also to be dropped or discarded. Because if you have no longer any illnesses and continue taking medicines, you will create illness by overdosage. So eventually even Buddha Dhamma is no longer needed. Coming back to the textbook of Buddha Dhamma, the Chinese library system in the Qing dynasty was actually following this Jing Lü Lun category and made its own category of 4 types, and even the terms are similar. So we can say Buddhism established original library system and proper classifications. The sutra also can be categorized or classified as two types, the Mahayana Sutras versus Theravada Sutras. And in each case, the Mahayana Sutra talk about Mahayana precept, Mahayana Samadhi meditation, and Mahayana Prajna. The Theravada Sutra talk about Theravada precepts, Theravada meditation, and Theravada Prajna. They are complete of themselves. So, in summary, the precept is deal with the conduct of the body, meditation and samadhi is deal with the mind, and prajna is deal with the activities. Buddha Dharma is the content of the practice, or the you may say Buddhism education's curriculum. And in daily life, how do we deal with people? How do we handle things? Did the Buddha have provided any teaching in this area? Actually, it is well covered and repeated many times in numerous Mahayana Sutras, namely the 6 Praja Paramita, or the 6 principles. If one follows the 6 principles or 6 Praja Paramita, then one is performing or behaving like a Bodhisattva. These 6 items are almsgiving, precept observation, endurance, meditation and meditation, or translated as samadhi, proper diligence, and prajna, or wisdom. From the morning, start brush your teeth until nighttime. You lie down on bed. The 6 items need to be constantly utilized and repeated. And then you'll be applying Buddha Dharma in your daily life. Worldly people first pursue wealth. Secondly, like to pursue wisdom or smartness. And then pursue long life, longevity, and good health. This seems to be true since ancient time, without exception, to all worldly people. Would Buddha Dharma provide the above regular and usual goals of the human beings? The answer is yes, because there's a word in Buddha Dharma says, with proper seeking or knocking in the Buddha Dharma, there will be proper responding. However, sometimes we find we cannot get what we want. That is because either we do not understand the theory or the principle, or we do not know the methodology to pursue what we try to pursue. If you understand properly, if you implement properly, you are bound to obtain the 3 average goals of worldly people's dreams. The fame, wisdom, longevity, and good health is the result of good deeds of previous lives. In order to obtain this result, one needs to have the proper courses prepared. For example, to become rich is not because the person is smart, because there are other people smarter than this person. How come the smarter person not all rich? So the rich is due to the result of proper course, usually from previous lifetime. So in Buddha Dharma, the 6 Prajaparamita, the first one is almsgiving. Almsgiving can be classified in three areas: giving material things, giving teaching of Dharma, giving words of comfort to free people from fear. The first type, giving of material things, will result in rich wealth. The teaching, the giving of Dharma will result in wisdom. The giving of soft words and comfort words to free people from fear will result in good health and longevity. Usually, when a person has the good result of rich, wise, good health, and long life, it's due to the proper causes done in previous lifetime. However, if you aggressively or actively doing the proper causes, you can obtain in this lifetime richness, wisdom, long life, and good health. The numerous Dharma methods can be categorized into 6 types. That's the 6 Prajaparamita, and can be further categorized into only one. That's the first one. Give. Average people do not understand the true meaning of giving away, or almsgiving. They thought that is donate some money to the temple or give to certain monks. Even they do that constantly, it is not the true meaning of almsgiving. The true meaning of almsgiving is in every thought of yours, you do things for others and not for yourself. You give away yourself and serve others. That's the true meaning of almsgiving. Take housewife for example. In the morning, you wake up early, you cook and prepare breakfast for every member of the family. That is almsgiving, without cost you any money. But if you don't understand what you're doing is Dharma when you prepare breakfast, but complain that you've been treated like a maid of the house and doesn't even have a break, then all the virtues you are actually doing does not become almsgiving, and you're not practicing Buddha Dharma. In the United States, there are some forceful almsgiving, so to speak, that everyone needs to do it. And because everyone needs to do it, it seems to be forceful. That is, we must buy medical insurance and pay heavy premium in order that when we get sick, the money is there, insurance will take care of us. With this kind of motivation, understanding in mind, we already suggest to our subconscious mind we need to be sick in order to use the money. But if you turn your mind around and thinking, my premium is to join the other people's premium and be used to help those who are sick and who truly need help from the insurance company. With this thought, your money given away is not forceful, but with joy and happiness. And even better than that is you won't even get sick, because you are truly blessed by your realization, by your understanding of the meaning of almsgiving. Another example in daily life, since most people do work every day. We have to work hard, have to go to work every day. If we work for food, we have to work and not thinking about making offerings, serving the company, contributing to the society. But we just have to work in order to make money, in order to support ourselves. Then that attitude, you will be tired. But if you turn your mind around and thinking, I'm doing the services for my company, I'm contribute my effort to the society, then the more you give out, the more you feel happy. And even go to work becomes Dharma practice. Today, I'm very happy to share with you by teaching Buddha Dharma with you, which is giving of the Dharma teaching. I remember a couple of years ago when I was invited to Los Angeles. As soon as I get to Los Angeles, they have already prepared a place. They want me to teach for 9 hours. As soon as I get to Los Angeles, they have already prepared a place. They want me to teach for 9 hours. And there's no chair to sit, so I stood there and taught for 9 hours. And the audience seems very tired. But the more I talk, the more I feel energetic, and the voice gets louder and louder. If I came for money, then I would be very tired. But I came with the following thought in my mind, to share the supreme and profound teaching of Buddha with all beings. That's why the more I teach, the more I feel energetic and happy. Human beings talk about nourishment, nutrition. The true nutrition is a happy mind. If one have fears and anxieties, that can cause causing deterioration of the physical body. That is also the cause of illnesses. With a happy mind, however, one can truly live happily and very healthy, physically too. Another example I like to point out is most people drive a car and need car insurance. When you have to pay your annual insurance premium, do not think you are paying because you have to cover yourself in case of a car accident, thinking you are making contribution to the insurance company, so any car accident, any damage to other people's car, the money is there to help them and you have a share of your contribution. With this kind of changing of your thought, then you feel happy, and more than your happiness, more than your awareness, you are blessed by Bodhisattva and Buddhas. And you probably don't even have car accident. So, to be able to become rich is the result of good karma, virtuous karma. To be able to know how to use money wisely is the application of your wisdom. The more we think about others, then the virtuous karma will become more and more. So almsgiving everybody can do in daily life. All you need to do is turn your thought around. If you can do that, turning your thought around, then you become a Bodhisattva. If you cannot turn your thought around, then you become average people, full of vexations in your everyday life. So please think carefully, contemplate more about these things. So to turn your thought around and put into practice, then you will be greatly rewarded. Due to the limited time tonight, we cannot cover Dharma teaching almsgiving, which leads to the result of wisdom, and also giving of soft words and comfort words to free people from fear, which will bring long life and good health. We just cannot